How's it going, everyone? This is Michael for Spirit Comics. Okay, I'm attempting this live stream again for the, fourth or fifth time. I'm going to get it right eventually. Okay, this past week was January 3rd. That was the new comic book day. And I didn't get out to get my comics because here in Huntington, West Virginia, it was really too cold, you know, and it was just enough to stay indoors and stay warm. I wasn't able to walk down to my comic book shop until Friday, and I lied not. It was 19 degrees when I did, if I recall correctly. Yes, I braved the cold for the comic book. And starting now in 2018, I am going to use New Comic Book Day to tell you which comic books I believe you should be reading, which are the most important, which have the best stories of the given week. And let's start off with the best. Okay, December 27th was the last New Comic Book Day of the year, and I didn't get to do a video then. But that was the day that this, what I call, I wouldn't say a masterpiece, but it's an excellent piece of writing and art, in my opinion. From Marvel Comics, Phoenix Resurrection #1. Yes, it's a lenticular cover. You can tell it by the sound. And on there you have Colossus. One person accidentally, I think it was an accident, called him Cyclops. I'm not going to say who, because that's not how I work. Storm, Rogue, Jubilee, Nightcrawler, and Old Man Logan. Now, what happens in #1? Well, the Phoenix returns. And while I'm not going to use this entire video to go through it, I just want to say I was really impressed by this. I was. Written by, what's his name? Rosenberg? What's his first name? Let's see here. I really enjoyed this. The artwork, the coloring, the shading, the Matthew Rosenberg. I thought he did an excellent job with this. You know, the plotting, I believe, was good. Everything about this book entertained me. This was one of those stories where I would start out reading. I was like, okay. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, that, something to surprise me. Then I would turn the page, and all of a sudden, oh, that happened to one of the characters. I'm not joking. I was genuinely surprised. I turned each page wanting to know what's coming next. It was suspenseful to me. So this was the best comic book released on December 27th, 2017. You heard me right. The best, in my opinion, the best comic book released on that date. Now, a week later, Phoenix Resurrection #2 from Marvel Comics. I have not gotten through the whole book yet, but from what I have read, it's really good. And they're subtly reintroducing characters. I won't say who I've seen already, but I think this is going to shape up to be something really good that's going to rock the X-Men world. And you're going to be surprised, you know, because, you know, I recommend that you do read the X-Men, the Phoenix Saga. I really do. It's good writing. It entertained me. I enjoyed it. I loved it. Next up, Rogue and Gambit #1. I haven't gotten into reading this yet, but I have looked through it, and I like the artwork. It does not look dull. It's lively, and Rogue looks like she should. You know, long, beautiful hair, beautiful smile. Not that she hasn't been portrayed that way before, but sometimes a certain artist or a certain writer will depict a character in ways that we don't normally like them to be depicted. Now that's Rogue right there, and she looks like she could kick some butt. So this is going to be a good read, I believe. Rogue and Gambit #1 from Marvel Comics. Pick this up. Astonishing X-Men #7. Now, I will admit I was disappointed when I read Astonishing X-Men #6 because of the way the artwork was done. It reminded me of one of the Avengers comics where, well, I think several of them, before the Marvel Legacy reboot. The artwork in #6 of Astonishing X-Men was rather, you could say, I don't know, almost like a painting or something. It didn't really fit the comic book. But then I opened this up, and lo and behold, back to comic book form. And this looks like a comic book should. Two-dimensional. I like the Astonishing X-Men, and I like the fact that Professor Xavier here is back from the astral realm. If you want to know how he got back, how this man is alive, pick up Astonishing X-Men and start reading it, because this is good writing. Charles Soule, some of his stuff in the past I have not liked, to be honest, but I like Astonishing X-Men, so pick this book up. Also, from Marvel Comics, X-Men Gold #19. Marvel Comics is really kicking it right now. They are really doing good. I mean, check out this cover. Look at all the stuff going on there. That's Colossus, Old Man Logan. I mean, look at how Colossus is just going berserk, smashing, and you know, look at this artwork. Just look at this artwork right here. Isn't that awesome? I think it's awesome. That's just spectacular. It's almost jumping off the page. Look at the attention to detail in the muscles there in the back. And that's Old Man Logan. And let's see. Well, I'm not sure exactly who's standing next to him, but there's, I believe that's a Storm there. And how can anyone not like Storm? I mean, look at that butt. I mean, she's this is a good piece of artwork. I mean, look at this right here. This big monster. Look at that detail. I think that is something else. I haven't gotten to reading this one yet, but I am going to really soon. Another one from Marvel Comics. Go pick up X-Men Gold. Alright, now, if you aren't aware, in the DC Universe, that's what they're calling themselves now, not DC Rebirth, but DC Universe. See there on the cover, DC Universe. Rebirth is gone. Now it's DC Universe. There's an event happening in DC Comics right now called Super Sons of Tomorrow that involves both Jonathan Kent, aka Superboy, and Damian Wayne, aka Robin. And this is shaping up to be an interesting story. I think that somehow the guys at DC Comics, they want to bring back some of the classic, well, not I shouldn't say classic, but some of the characters from the New 52 and put them back in the current universe, because they're bringing back Connor Kent, who became Superman, who was from an alternate timeline, and he comes back along with Cassie Sandsmark, who is Wonder Girl. At least I believe that's what she calls herself in this storyline. And Bart Allen, who in this storyline is a reverse Flash. You have to pick up Teen Titans 15 to see all that. But those characters are from the New 52, if I'm correct. But this is Superman 38. Look at that artwork. That is Starfire. And she does not look like she should be on the Teen Titans. She looks like she should be leading the Justice League. I mean, she looks more like a woman now than a teen. I guess it depends on the way people draw her. And look at Robin coming at you live right there. Oh yeah, he's ready to rip into you. And this is just excellent artwork. Look at Jonathan Kent, Superboy here. See? That to me is just beautiful. So you want to pick up this storyline, Super Sons of Tomorrow. It started with well, I don't have the others in front of me right now, but this is part 4. You want to get this storyline. It's a crossover from Superman, Super Sons, and Teen Titans. DC Comics, I believe, is doing another cool crossover like they did in 2017 with the Lazarus Contract, which was a crossover of Teen Titans, Deathstroke, and Titans. So Tomasi is a good writer. He knows how to write Superman. People keep saying, you know, hey, put Brian Michael Bendis on Superman. No, don't. This book already has a good team of creators on it. Don't mess with it. I'm not saying anything bad about Brian Michael Bendis. I'm just saying, don't put him on the book. Don't ruin something that's already good, you know. It's like the saying, you know, too many cooks in the kitchen. Pardon me. Well, if you replace the cook with another cook, you may not get the same type of food. Alright, here is one that everybody should be reading. Green Lanterns, number 38. I'm not just talking about this comic book, this issue, because I have not read it yet. But this is a great series. Stars Jessica Cruz, right there, and Simon Baz. Now, she has struggled with anxiety. For 3 years, she stayed in her apartment. She did. She wouldn't come out. And Simon Baz, well, he has his own set of problems. Currently, he's homeless except for his home in space that he made out of his power ring. He used his power ring to make a construct in the shape of a home. I kid you not. And Jessica Cruz is just rocking it. You know, she has really taken the lead, I think, between the two of them. But they're the team that protects Sector 2814, which is Earth. At first I didn't know if I was going to like Green Lanterns when it started in 2016 during Rebirth. Well, actually, I think it did start. It already, it was in the New 52, although I'm not sure. But I really caught on to this series because, I struggle with stuff too. I've struggled with stuff my whole life because I was born with epilepsy, so I had to struggle with issues my whole life. So I know what it's like to be different, what it's like to feel unsure of yourself. So that's why I really identify with Jessica Cruz. So I haven't read this yet, but this story is pretty good. The previous issue, it was suspenseful. I mean, I think this is really cool artwork. Check that out. And then over here, the last page. Oh man, that is so in your face. So you should be reading Green Lanterns from DC Comics. And the last one I believe that you should be reading, a lot of people, whoops, don't want that falling. A lot of people have trashed this book because it's written by Mark Waid, because they say, well, he's doing this, he's doing that. I don't see the same stuff that these other reviewers say. Captain America, number 697. He came back in 695, traveling across America, trying to find himself again, because during the past year, Marvel Comics had an event which they called Secret Empire, by where somehow a fake or a false Steve Rogers got his hand on America through the use of other superheroes, fooled other people. So now he wants people to accept him back, but he knows that he's going to have to earn their trust again since it's been shattered. And this is Kraven the Hunter. I have not seen him in a story since the Amazing Spider-Man or the Spider-Man the animated series years ago. And another reason that you should be picking up this particular issue, not just this story, Home of the Brave, which I think is a really good story, by the way, is in the back of this issue. We're given this one page that shows us some clues as to what happened to the real Logan, the real Wolverine. Where is he now? And I haven't even read it yet. But something I do like a lot about Captain America, the comic book now, is he's back with the shield. Not that, you know, weird looking one. He's had different shields in the past, but this one right here is the iconic shield, which fans love, you know, and so that was one of the things that bothered me about the previous Captain America run, is this shield wasn't present. I mean, he had the same costume, but he wasn't using the shield. Somebody else had the shield. You know, the dude who was called Falcon, he was wearing the Captain America suit. It was a Captain America suit. It was all confusing to me. But I do like this story, Home of the Brave, in Captain America. I do think you should be reading it because the artwork is just, in my opinion, exceptional. This is how a comic book from Marvel Comics should look. I mean, this is almost like from the Jack Kirby era, almost. So that's what I bought this past Wednesday, which I believe you should be reading. Now, the other ones that I bought, they are not so much stories that I believe you should be reading, but they're still good nonetheless. And there's not one from Marvel Comics among these. First, Nightwing, number 36, Left for Dead. Now this, I have not read this story yet, but it has a really good cover. From DC Comics, Justice League number 36, Batman, Wanted for Murder. And something I noticed, you see how on the Justice League cover it says here DC Universe, okay? Here on the cover of Bombshells United number 9, it says DC Comics. I believe that is because Bombshells United is not part of the current continuity in DC Comics, but they do have some good stories, and the artwork, I believe, is pretty good at times, and other times it can be kind of so-so. You know, here's just, you know, a sampling of some of the artwork. This takes place in 1943, by the way, if you didn't know. The cover, though, is pretty good. It's not for everybody, I'll say that. You know, some people are going to call it, you know, garbage. That's fine. Everybody has right to their own opinion. And now the last 4 that I bought from this past Wednesday are from IDW Publishing, Optimus Prime number 13 and Optimus Prime number 14. Now, I have been following this series since issue 1, and I have yet to see Megatron. I have yet to see any Autobot blow away a Decepticon. Now, this story is called The Dead Come Home, part 1 of 2. You see Optimus Prime standing there. Don't know what's being said because I'm not going to take the time to look around, look in the bubbles, but it's about Sideswipe. He was killed recently. And I'm just flipping through here. Is anybody fighting? Is anybody getting smashed? Or are they... No. well, there's some fighting. And it looks like Grimlock, I think. And there's still no sign of Megatron, so, you know. I told John, who owns Purple Earth Comics, I believe I was going to give it till issue 20, and if still no sign of Megatron, then I'll drop it. So, let's see, is there any fighting in issue 14? Some. At least there's some space travel. And there's Triptychon. I don't see Megatron. Oh, and for your information, Starscream is kind of like a politician now. I don't know how to explain that. The last two I bought from this past Wednesday are from Boom Studios. Saban's Go-Go Power Rangers numbers 4 and 5. This is not the greatest series. At least it wasn't with the first issue. The second issue, it got a little bit better, because I read before this issue came out, and before this series came out, I read that this was going to focus more on the interpersonal relationship dynamic, whatever have you, of the Power Rangers themselves, and less on the fighting, because there's the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers comic book for that. Okay, so that you know, that means there's going to be less fighting in this comic book, right? Right? Well, apparently that's there's going to be an exception made in issue 4, because I see lots of fighting in here, and the coloring is much better than it has been in the previous 3. I mean, look at Billy right there. Look at that's a good color. That's a good shade of blue. And here we've got Rita Repulsa about to send something to Earth. Right there. Haven't read it yet, but I'm going to. And there's a big monster. You know, I guess that's what she sent down to Earth, was this big monster. There's Alpha 5. Ay 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 ay! Oh, and look at this look at this lightning crack. You know, I can't make a sound, but I don't know how lightning sounds, but you know, just imagine it, the lightning cracking. So the artwork in this issue is really good, better than it has been in the previous 3. And if you haven't read the previous 3, then I think you should, if you want to get started with this series, just so you can be there from the start, you know. And this is number 5. They're at the juice bar, and let's see what the. Oh my goodness! Now look at Rita Repulsa here. Look at those red lips. Isn't that something else? Look at those red lips. And that look on her face. That is a mean look. I mean, I love the original Mighty Morphin Power Rangers TV series. But Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the comic book, has done the series justice. It has. And Saban's Go-Go Power Rangers, they've been getting a slow start. But here's all 5 of them beaming in to the command center right here. Very reminiscent of the television series. And they have not yet met Tommy in Saban's Go-Go Power Rangers. But Tommy was there right from the get-go when they started the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers comic book series. So, you know, this is a non-action scene, but it's still pretty good. Artwork is, you know, good. Look at the expressions on Kimberly's face, and look how that. I mean, that's pretty good, I think. And there's one exception about this series. Whoa, I need to read this because I have no idea why she's glowing pink. I mean, she's the Pink Ranger. That's already been established in the comic book, but I don't know why she's glowing. But she has a boyfriend in this series called Matthew. She has a boyfriend. It's not Tommy. And I've been reading about the upcoming crossover with, now if you haven't heard this, just you may not believe this as well, because I don't see how this is going to work. Boom Studios, publishers of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the comic book, and Saban's Go-Go Power Rangers, they are going to do a crossover of both comic books. Yes, both comic books. I don't know how that's going to work. It doesn't make sense to me, because both comic books contain the same characters, except Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the comic book, contains Tommy Oliver as the Green Ranger. In Saban's Go-Go Power Rangers, there is no Green Ranger, there is no Tommy, but Kimberly does have a boyfriend by the name of Matthew. So how are they going to do this? A lot of details have not been released. It's just kind of fuzzy at this moment. So I'm just waiting to see what's going to happen. Anyways, I hope you have enjoyed this live stream. It's my first. I had some rough starts getting this stream going. I think I tried like 4 or 5 times or something. But anyways, I'm going to try to do better for the future. You know, maybe when I finally learn how to do the Google Hangout, I can do that with some other people who also enjoy comic books. Well, if you're new to my channel, please do subscribe and smash the notification bell like She-Hulk, so you'll be notified of every new video that's uploaded. And please do like this video and share it with someone else so they can enjoy it as well, and come to my channel and subscribe and watch all the videos that I have already, because I'm here to entertain you, and hopefully in this new year I can start getting some of my work down on paper and read it to you every now and then, because I have some ideas for comic books, but I just need to take the time to write everything out. Till next time, true readers.